I watched Kat Von D's I'm not anti-Semitic, I'm not anti-vax video for you so that you don't have to. Her video came out about a week ago, I think, because it's been showing up in my recommendeds every day since it came out. Because if you recall, I did a video on Kat Von D when she sort of came out as anti-vax, if you will. And I was one of the first people to have a video up. So that video, you know, it did well for my videos. It wasn't viral by any means, but it did well for my videos. And there was a lot of positive feedback to that video, but there was also a lot of hilarious negative feedback to that video. Like, things don't bother me. So a lot of them were just funny to me. Someone on that video said that vaccines gave me my disability. The disability I was born with, vaccines gave that to me. Please enlighten me on which vaccine I had before I was born that gave me my disability. But anyway, first I'm going to give you the short of what her video was, and then I'm going to tell you why I think it's baloney. So essentially the first 80% of the video is her explaining why she thinks people think she's anti-Semitic. Semitic? Am I saying that right? I never really knew how to pronounce that word properly. You know what I mean? So she goes on to tell this really long-winded story about back when she was working on a TV show called Miami Ink. I remember these days. I used to watch that show, and then she got her own spin-off show called LA Ink, and it really pissed off one of the guys from Miami Ink, so he took up like a photo of her, an 8x10, and forged her signature and wrote something anti-Semitic on it. And people still to this day believe that that signature and message was written by her when she claims it was not. There, that's the first 80% of the video for you. The rest of the video is her saying she's not anti-vax. What she is a first-time mother, so therefore when she was reading the ingredients on a vaccine, of course she was nervous. And then she talks about how she wishes she had never brought up vaccines on her Instagram at all, and from now on she will be keeping her child's health private. I think you see where some of my issues with this are. First issue is the issue that I know less about, is the accusations that Kat Von D is anti-Semitic. I don't know as much about this because I wasn't in the thick of it, you know what I mean? I didn't follow her on Instagram and see this unfold. This is sort of more of a long-standing thing. So let's take the picture story out of it because she claims that that's not real. I do believe that that's not the only case that people used for her being anti-Semitic. Don't people think that her husband's a Nazi? Didn't her husband have a swastika tattoo? I'm pretty sure that's where a bulk of the resurfacing of the anti-Semitic rumors come from. The picture probably didn't help, but I think her husband's beliefs might be contributing to that, because you can't really marry someone who has tattoos like that and not believe the same way. It would just come into conflict too many times, you know? And maybe that was a former life of his. Maybe he's not that way anymore. You know, whatever. But she's not helping the situation by not addressing it, and he's not helping her at all by not addressing it either. What I, the viewer, am left with is that, okay, so maybe this one situation, the photo with whatever was written on it, maybe that wasn't her, but what about these other examples and her husband? Those are the ones that I would rather know about rather than this 15-year-old picture anyway. So she left a lot of unanswered questions there. To me, she actually created more. When we get to the anti-vax portion of this story, I have to let you know how frustrating it is for me that she played the I'm a first-time mother card. I know a lot of really great first-time mothers who vaccinate their children. I understand that maybe with your first baby you want to protect them, but you want to protect them from things like measles, polio, mumps, that sort of thing. You're not a doctor. You can't read the ingredients of a vaccine and know how these things react to each other and know what they do in the human body. You can't read a vaccine's ingredient list and go, well, I don't want these things in my child. You didn't create it. You're not the doctor. And I swear, if it's a vegan thing, because maybe some things in vaccines aren't vegan, that's even more frustrating. And then, so she says she's not anti-vax. But then she says, I regret bringing it up on Instagram, and I'm going to keep my child's health things private from now on. So let me get this straight. Does that mean you're vaccinated, or does that mean you didn't answer the question? You didn't answer the question that you brought up, that you started. You can't open a bag of worms and then just be like, well, why are there so many worms all over the place? You know, if you're going to bring up vaccines, you have to be ready to talk about it, to hear the discourse, to hear the fact that people don't like that you're not vaccinating your very small child. She brought it up. She's got to be ready to deal with the consequences. And I wonder, you know, the anti-vax thing was months ago, but I'm wondering, like, she must be, like, her her brand and her social media must still be really feeling the effects of that for her to come out now and make a video about it. I mean, and honestly, KVD hasn't really been coming out with anything interesting lately. I sort of thought the Lolita palette was cute, but like not enough to buy it, even if I was buying KVD products, which I'm not. But, you know, like she hasn't been coming out with great stuff anyway, and we're not buying it because she's anti-vaccine. She must really want to get back to the way she was in order to come out with that video now and say anything. I feel like at Kat's age and at the stage in her life that she's at, you know, she's gotta know better, you know? If you don't want to start the vaccine debate on your Instagram post, don't talk about vaccines. A section of her video was about all the hate that she's received as a result of all this. I don't believe that she should be getting that level of hate, but I find it kind of rich coming from her after she made a whole video trashing Jeffree Star. I'm not a particular Jeffree Star fan myself, but you know, you gotta be ready for karma at some point if you're going to upload a whole video talking about what a bad person someone with a lot of influence these days is. If you're going to make a video but with a big picture of them and a red circle and a line through and talk about this whole story about what a bad person that person is, you know what I'm saying? Like, she can't make a video hating on someone else and then get mad when people start hating on her. She can't get mad at people for thinking she's anti-Semitic when she has not addressed everything that she's done or that she's associating with that's anti-Semitic. She cannot be mad at people for thinking she's anti-vax if she is still not disclosing whether or not she decided to vaccinate her child. And nobody would even be asking if she hadn't brought that out herself. And so yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the video and all of my anger about it. Take from this what you will. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and you subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed already. And I will see you next time. Bye!